Welcome to the second part of week 6, where we are going to discuss the promotional mix. The agenda for today is first of all, we are going to discuss promotional objectives, positioning, push and pull promotion, promotional tools, how and when to promote. And then I have some homework for you to do, which is a self-check wiki. First of all, promotional campaigns are linked to your communications objectives because obviously promoting your product or service is one way of or is a way of advertising your of advertising them. They are driven by these communication objectives, and then obviously they're driven by changing attitudes. Not if you think 40 years ago, it was all, or 60 years ago, it was all about the production and the product and durability of the product, whereas now it's also about the added value and what extra can we get out of the product or service that we buy. It's all about providing information and education, so you're educating people on your product as well. Rebranding, repositioning, and also the motivation. Your motivation, what do you want to achieve? But also, obviously, the motivation, looking at the motivation of the ultimate buyer. In order to achieve these objectives, there are obviously some things that you should consider when designing your communications. The one thing you have to look at and you have to think about is the frequency. Ad hoc advertising does not work, and you need to plan a campaign, so it should be part of your marketing plan as well. Again, if you look at frequency, and I think I mentioned this before, one advert won't cut it. 6 adverts might. How often do you have to repeat your message to your target audience? You also have to consider your reach. How many people can you actually physically communicate to? Obviously, the more customers you communicate to, the more customers you can ultimately convince to buy your product, but also obviously it maximizes the spend on your advertising as well. So if you advertise in magazines, how big is the target audience for these magazines as well? Who reads them? And the other thing is integration. We talked about integration marketing in the lesson before, and not just using one medium or sort of media to communicate your message, because nowadays, because everything is so fragmented, you have to use different kinds of media. And for example, when you're in an exhibition, make sure that other activities reinforce your presence. For example, brochures, or invite the people to your stand. Do adverts after the show, because then you're still in their mind. Collect names for your database so you can send them information, or do follow-ups. And I'm sure everyone who's ever worked on an exhibition knows that this is the sort of stuff people do there when they talk to potential customers. Also, what you obviously have to do, and again it relates to the integration of the communication mix as part of your marketing mix as well, and as part of your integrated marketing, you have to optimize the use of your resources. And this is why there needs to be an integration of the communication mix. So again, don't just use one medium to get your message across, but more. So again, and this comes back to, when you have your events, do something after that. You've got your sales promotion materials, sponsorship, stuff like that. So don't just, because you've spoken to someone during an exhibition, think that actually the customer will automatically come and buy your product or service. You have to somehow remind them of that. And the next thing that is very important is the positioning. How do you differentiate yourself from the competition? And this is one of the key messages that brands transmit through their brand values, their quality statements, case histories of success. So use case studies and tell a story of how your product or service, I don't know, has made a difference, how it's been successful, stuff like that. Expertise and qualifications, you make sure that you are that people can trust you as well. And also obviously do your research and have your supporting evidence for the success of your product and services. You see that on TV very often as well. You've got one detergent and they say, oh, it only erases like 60% of the stains, and that 80% of the stains is erased by our product and things like that. And also doing very often, 50% of women say that this product is really good, or 80% of women say that this reduces your wrinkles and stuff like that. So again, back it up with the research. And then other messages that you need to get across is your price, so that you look at value for money again. Is it too high? Is it too low? Is it the right price? Experience, mentioned that before. What have you done in the press? How have you been portrayed in the press as well? The range, different choices for same customer groups. Yeah, don't just have maybe one product for the same customer group. But if you think about cereal, they've got different, like Kellogg's or someone like that, they've got different choices for the same customer groups there. And added value and the extra information, so such as washing, care and instructions. So that's your added value here as well. When you think about promotion and how to get your promotional messages across, there are two ways to do this. There the push or the pull strategy, and the question now is, what are you going to use? The push strategy deals with promoting to your distribution chain. So rather than promoting directly to your customers, you promote to your retailers. He will then obviously attract the customers to buy your product. So basically what it means is that through this, your products or services are being pushed through the distribution channel. And this includes personal selling and sales promotion. The other option is your pull strategy, where you promote your products or services directly to the end consumer. And this is a while ago when Levi Strauss ran the adverts for their 501 jeans. Actually, months before they were in the stores, there was a massive rush to the stores demanding that these sort of jeans were to be supplied as soon as possible, because the demand was there. So you're generating your own demand, and the mass advertising pulls your products through and services through the distributors. Your promotional tools that you need to consider, again, they come with your communication mix there as well. They're wide and varied because of the fragmented nature of the media and also the market nowadays, as we learned in the lesson before. And there are a lot of factors that actually influence your customer and the way the customer gets your promotional messages as well. Just to go a bit more into details of these communication tools, you've got your advertising, where you reach a mass audience. It's not segmented, and it's good for giving a general message about a new product or about new products. Then you've got your public relations, press releases, articles, interviews, events, press parties. And also it's good for gaining credibility, because you can use third parties and celebrities to say the good things about your brand. So you're basically publicly promoting your thing that's through the help of third parties. The next thing is sales promotions. buy one get one free, samples, money off, half price, stuff like that. Incentives, prices and bonuses for selling your products and services. You've got your merchandising, where you've got window displays, point of sale leaflets, postcards and brochures, signage. Word of mouth, it's a very powerful marketing tool, positive and with in a positive way and in a negative way. Word of mouth, viral campaigns, for example, email campaigns to key influencers as well. That might be the parents, but it might be the kids as well. So, who's the key influencer if you think about families, who makes the main decision in the families? Who makes the main decision of where to go on holiday, for example? Is it the kids or is it the parents? Is it the mum or is it the dad? Is it the main earner or is it a joint decision? Sponsorship is where you go into partnership with other brands and events. It's for joint media exposure. Promotional materials is used to give a greater level of information to people about products and services. So it gives that extra bit of information. Websites, advertising, e-commerce is good for building relationships. And again, you can do a lot of research. What's the website traffic? How far are people actually going into your website as well? Open days is introducing customers to staff and showing off your facilities, and sales visits is to present products and services to your potential customers and to create relationships and bring back market information. So how do people actually react? And obviously this is all great, but you also need to know what to say in your promotions. And the things you have to remember is that customers have questions, they have concerns with regards to your product, so you have to be able to answer these. And not just that, but you have to be able to give them solutions as well. Solve their problems, give them information, educate them. If you tell them about your product and how great, or your service and how great it is, it's a way of educating them. Give them the stories and give them new research as well. So why is it worth buying your product? And how do you communicate? Well, different ways, just a few: face-to-face, events, direct mail, articles. So there are presentations. There are a lot of different ways on how to get social networking. Yeah, networking, but also social networking is a way of getting your message across. And then the most important messages that you can transmit is about new products, obviously, success stories, company news, innovations, and market information about market trends as well.